All right, so we got first Tyrannic War and Battle of Macragge. Other than that, man, make sure you guys follow my Twitter down below, and let's get right into it. Let's go, man. Quack quack.
Hi friends, thanks to the Space Marine game, I have ascended to full Games Workshopness and have recently been on a bit of an ultramarine kick.
Okay.
Additionally, one of the factions that hasn't got much love on the channel yet are the Tyranids. So what better event to talk about than the Imperium's first encounter with
The nastiest, just most unlimited, most cracked faction in the damn in this whole Warhammer series, bro. As I come to terms, with Warhammer and like a lot of stuff, bro. First of all, I still got like a lot to learn. Okay, so I only know, like, if I was to, like, put this whole like Warhammer franchise whatever into like a whole meter up to 100, I'll probably say I probably know around like 10%. Right, bro, for real, bro. I probably know like 10%. So I got a lot to learn. But listen, I do know who the Tyranids is, man. These guys are like unlimited. Turns out, bro, all these guys are like legit just all one creature. I thought these guys was popping out like pizza rolls. Turns out, bro, these guys are just one big pizza. It's just like, like every single one of these guys are like little bitty like skinny slices that just go crazy. So at the end of the day, yeah, bro, these guys are unlimited. There's like billions of them. I don't even know how like you even win a war against these damn bugs, bro. If it was me, now obviously, me and my partner, me and the gang, and the Salamander and stuff like that, me and the greatest of all time, me and Vulcan, listen, bro, we'll all wear like, Air Force Ones, and we'll just go on a stomping spree. That's how we'll beat these guys. But bro, until then, bro, like these guys are goddamn, bro. These guys are like, they don't stop coming. They don't stop. Pause. Pause. Yep, I see you. I see you. I know you grinning right now. Yeah, let me shut that down, bro. Pause. Pause, bro. Yeah, bro. They just don't stop, like, moving. Like, bro, these guys are absolutely just undefeated. It's crazy.
Tyranids, the first Tyrannic War. So before kicking this off, I should mention the first actual encounter with the Tyranids was on the moons of Yumgarl, where some Imperials saw the tentacle-faced Gene Stealers. However, these Xenos were not recognized as Tyranids at the time, and they were quickly purged by the Salamanders. The
Yeah.
first encounter
Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Vulcan pulled up. He was like, because his voice is deep. He got that much testosterone. He was like, yeah, go over there, yo, please. Because he's really nice and stuff. He's like, yo, go over there, yo. And we all follow his direction because he's Vulcan. We all bow down and hear he, just King Tut. We just praise him. He's like, and then Vulcan. He was like, yo. Anybody know what this is? Yo, I looked at him like, yo, they're like some type of like bug I saw like in North America, like something that I've seen in Arizona, something like that. He's like, oh, Arizona, okay. Yo, is it friendly or what? And then the Tyranid thing, it just started hissing at us. I'm like, yo, what's going on? That thing started hissing at us, like Greg waking up in Diary of a Wimpy Kid whenever his mom just opened up the windows and the sun just hit his face. Like, bro, that's the same sound he made as the Tyranid, right? Yo, the Tyranid, he's all types of, just fluids everywhere. I'm like, yo, I bump Vulcan on this. I bump Vulcan on the shoulder. I'm like, yo, Vulcan, do what you got, man, burn him. Vulcan was like, as you wish, my son. Man, burnt to a crisp. He got burnt to a lip. He got burnt to a crisp. Just burnt him, right? He over there, he burnt. He's screaming, burning, just like Trevor from GTA 5. Like, he just burning, screaming. I'm like, yeah, let's go. And then, like, we continue our thing. I did not know that in a few millennia, these things would come back, and then they all came back in unison. I didn't know that.
Tyranids, where they were properly identified, was when an Imperial explorer fleet led by Magos Veranak was doing a planetary census around Tyran. Tyran is an oceanic world in the Ultima Segmentum, which is the same segmentum as Ultramar, if you couldn't tell from the name.
Oh, he's saying like it's on like the East Coast and stuff.
And Ultramar is where the Ultramarines are from, if you couldn't tell from the name.
Oh, so they're from the East Coast?
Now, Tyran was a relatively unimportant world, but it was notable for having some heavily armed fortresses, since the local Imperials would regularly be attacked by the dangerous sea monsters of the world. Which, also, I just want to say, before I even learned of Tyran, I made my homebrew regiment's home planet to have basically the same sea monster shtick, and I thought I wrote something super cool and unique. It's never been done before, just to...
Those are actually pretty hard. Let me see. Yeah, these are hard. Okay. Oh, look at him. He bulky. He Brock Lesnar.
Later read about this stupid planet that was pretty much exactly the same as mine. Ugh! But back to the planetary census. The explorers carrying out the census had found the once thriving worlds around Tyran were now completely devoid of life, even down to the microscopic level. The dead
Oh,
plants were reported, but due to the area's relative unimportance, it was ignored. And I thought these plants were Imperial, not Dark Elder. Am I right, boys? Although Tyran was treated like the Votan range and didn't get much support, it had a particularly formidable fortress on one of its islands, and the planetary governors and explorer team were able to bolster a pretty well-mounted defense.
okay.
This fortress, called Tyran Primus, had 4 huge orbital defense lasers along with a crapload of autocannons and las cannon point defense turrets. In addition to the guns, the fortress had a ground force composed of Skitarii warriors and a regiment of veteran Catachan jungle fighters. So, pretty badass stuff. But the
Okay.
Tyranians were about to wish they had the Catachan's cousin regiment, the Krapatan bug fighters, because they weren't fighting no jungle. They were fighting the gosh darn Tyranids. So
Yep.
then the invasion finally kicked off with the Tyranids launching a bunch of bioships, only for them to get blasted by the lasers.
Bro, how do they even like control like the ship? Like how do they even like punch in the coordinates? Like how do they like they actually like function with like their little like thing? Like how do they even like load in like the information? Like how do they even like I thought they're just like termites. Like there's no shot. Like there's no way. They gotta be like some guy like already like pre-launching the codes or whatever to like go to like a certain planet. All they gotta do is just run off and just eat.
After about an hour of constant lasing and bioshipping, the fleet fell back. With the bulk of the enemy fleet seemingly shredded by the planet's defenses, Mangos Veranak led a splinter fleet to pursue the retreating bioships and kill the rest of them. However, Veranak was very mistaken. He found out that the ships that the lasers had destroyed were a mere fraction of the actual fleet. The fleet that he initially thought to be made up of a few dozen bioships was actually made up of thousands of bioships. Turns out the Tyranid scouting force did a little Tom and Jerry maneuver to lure the Imperial
Threw them boys a test. They like, okay, let me see. Let me see if we gonna. They're like, all right. You know, because you know they don't talk in English. You know, they talking like you know in chalk on a chalkboard. You know, they talking a nasty little language. They like, yo, we're gonna fool them. Yo, they basically just bait and switched them. They're like, yo, you know what? Let's send off a little. Let's send off a little 2 to 3. He's like, oh, okay, 2 to 3 ships. Okay, I got you, sir. He said, no, I mean 2 to 3,000. 2 to 3,000. That's a lot of Tyranids. Bro, look in the back. Bro turned around, man, he saw millions and billions of termites. He turned around, he said, you right. Boop, 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 boop. Sent like 2,000 of those Tyranids. They all got, bro, explosions, right? Done, data, 0. They all reload their thing. They're like, oh yeah, let's go. We killed them. Let's go. They all celebrating like they just won. He said, all right. Now send 250,000. 250,000 came down. Oh, geez. Listen, I already know what they finna do. I already know what they did.
fleet to their much bigger and badder buddies, and once meeting the bulk of the Tyranid fleet, the Imperials were swiftly destroyed and the Tyranids launched their full assault on Tyran.
GG's.
The Nid fleet shot thousands of mycetic spores, which are basically Tyranid drop pods, onto the oceans around the Imperial fortress, and millions of Nids closed in on the island.
Dropping down like
The Imperials
Vegeta.
fought hard and unleashed unending volleys of blast fire, but unfortunately for them, the Tyranids were even more unending and were getting ever closer to breaking the Imperial fortress's defenses.
GG's.
Even worse for the Imperials, the Tyranids had something called the Shadow and the Warp. This is an ability that Tyranids have to block psychic connections to surrounding beings. This can even affect regular people, as almost everybody has a warp signature, so it usually gives most people at least feelings of uneasiness. As if seeing a million knife-wielding dinosaur bugs didn't already make you feel uneasy. But even more important than making the Imperials poop their pants is that the Shadow and the War prevented the planet's astropaths from calling in reinforcements. So the dwindling
They cut the Wi-Fi, yo. Yo, they cut the phone lines. They cut the Wi-Fi. Yo, no communication. You better use Bluetooth. Wow.
guard force was all there would ever be to defend the
Wowzers.
planet. Said dwindling guard force dwindled even more when the orbital defenses were overrun and even more mycetic spores dropped planetside. Soon after, the Tyranids completely overtook the fortress and killed everyone.
GG's.
After killing all the Imperials, the Tyranids completely consumed all of the biomass on Tyran and sucked the oceans completely dry.
Give me that. Phantom. Ate everything. Sucked everything. Pause.
Proving that the Tyranids still use Snapchats as they're the thirstiest motherfuckers on the block. About a year later, Inquisitor Crittman, yes, the same one who would go on to make the ill-fated Octarius Gambit, would come across a dead world and find a message left by Vagos Veranak talking about how hopeless it is to fight the Tyranids and warning the greater Imperium of the existential threat that these funky bug dudes posed. Crittman dubbed this new Xenos menace as the Tyranids, since, you know, they're first ID'd on Tyran. Now, what should I call this new alien bugs? Well, I did ID them on the planet of Tyran. Tyran ID. Oh, I know. ID Tyrans. Oh, wait, no. Tyranids, yes! This particular Tyranid force was named High Fleet Behemoth, and it ravaged every planet in its way, leaving a wake of dead worlds. As the onslaught continued, Crittman continued to study them, and he relayed his information to the Ultramarines chapter master, Marnius Calgar.
Oh, Calgary,
Using Crittman's
Lord
research,
Calgary.
Calgar and the forces of Ultramar fortified Macragge and prepared for a final stand in order to stop Behemoth dead in its deadly tracks.
Okay.
Macragge would serve as an important defensive position, as it was the Imperium's only real chance to stop the fleet. If Macragge fell, the planet's passive would not be reasonably equipped to stop such a threat, and the Ultima Sector, as well as the Imperium as a whole, would be in great danger.
I'm in
Calgar
danger.
gathered every single spaceship he possibly could in order to create a defensive line across Macragge's orbit. In addition to the Void Forces, Calgar heavily reinforced Macragge's polar fortresses with Marines and the Ultramar Auxilia. And soon it would be on like Donkey Kong, brother, when the Tyranids kicked off the party.
I haven't heard of that like saying in a long time. It'll be on like Donkey Kong. I haven't heard of that saying in 20,000 years. I swear to you. I have not heard about that saying in 20 million years. It'll be on like Donkey Kong. Oh my God.
It began by sending in
That's
suicidal
crazy.
waves of bioships that would make a Krieger blush through his mask. Even though the defensive line was destroying most of the incoming ships, some would trickle through and mycetic spores would make their way to the surface. On the planet's surface, Calgar led his ground forces. He divided his army into 3 groups. 2 of the groups, which were primarily made up of veterans of the First Company, hunkered down and defended the 2 polar fortresses. The 3rd group was personally led by Calgar and was made up of the entire Second Company, along with various other Ultramarine companies.
Oh, so bro, Lord Calgary, bro, he wanted the pros. I respect that, bro. He's kind of like LeBron in that situation, because listen, we all know, like, you know, Lakers are like the best team, you know, in the league. Obviously, like, you know, I got my 2 favorite players, you know, Luka and LeBron on like the same team. Ah, man, I couldn't be happier. But bro, he's kind of like LeBron right now. He kind of got like, you know, all like the young, just amazing players around him right now. And he's just looking to, you know, just to get a ring, you know.
This 3rd and final force was the largest, and its purpose was to flank the Tyranids in order to aid the polar defenders. Although Calgar was a masterful tactician and had effective strategies, the Imperials were still losing ground to the Tyranids. Due to the heavy losses, Calgar was forced to fall back further north, which left an important starport to get overrun by gene stealers. This crippled Macragge's fleet and inflicted heavy losses on the Ultramar Auxilia. Higher up north, the Ultramarines met up with the large company of Auxilia and set up heavy fortifications at the Cold Steel Ridge Industrial Complex. The Auxilia force was formidable and even had possession of a Baneblade super heavy battle tank, which would be invaluable in the upcoming defense. But things were only going to get worse for the Blue Besties. It often gets overlooked since Tyranids are often perceived as mindless beasts, but the hive mind is actually a highly intelligent being, and its constantly adapting nature proved hard to overcome, even for the Ultramarines chapter master.
Bro, these things are smart. Yo, these things got their PhD? How? Wait, so these guys are actual, just like, yo, these guys are actual. Wait, these guys got their damn masters? These guys went to Harvard? Oh, no.
The hive mind analyzed its prey and decided that Calgar was one of the most pressing threats in the war. To deal with Big Blue, it sent in a Swarmlord to kill him. Swarmlords are some of the deadliest Tyranid organisms, if not the deadliest. Swarmlords have the most autonomy of all the Tyranid units, and they specialize in strategizing. They're master tacticians, and they lead the lesser Tyranid organisms when simple tactics won't suffice. From this, you might think there's some kind of big brain nerd unit who only works out in the library, but Swarmlords are no slouches in a fight. They're most commonly equipped with their deadly boners, I mean bone sabers, and they can cut through adamantium and force fields like they're butter. With their extreme speed and reflexes, they fight with relentless fury, and very few opponents can even land a hit on them. With their forearms, speed,
I'm about to say, bro, they got 4 arms. Bro, I would assume you'll be absolutely crafty at what you do. You got 4 arms. You better be. You have 4 arms. Bro, if you're a guy in Warhammer, bro, and you got more than, bro, like Slanesh, I think Slanesh got like, no, not Slanesh. I think Fulgrim, right? Don't Fulgrim got like, Fulgrim got like, bro, 4 arms, 8 arms, yo. He better not lose. if you're a character in Warhammer, bro, and you got more than like 2 arms, it's GG's. Like you better not lose a battle. If you lose a battle, bro, you are, bro, the bottom, bro. You are like the rim of the butt. Like you are just like just booty juice.
Overwhelming fighting style. I like to imagine them as fleshy, buggy, ginormous versions of the 2003 Clone Wars General Grievous. If that doesn't show you how scary these guys are, either the Clone Wars 2008 series polluted your mind too much with Grievous being a lame-o escape artist, or I'm too old and no one cares about 2003 Clone Wars anymore. Additionally, if they do happen to get killed, which actually happens a lot as they're one of the setting's favorite punching bags, they can
True.
be reborn from the hive mind with all their
I mean, well, it makes sense though. They kind of have to be, right? Because they are the only, like, in my opinion, they're like the only, I guess, like, faction or like group or whatever that like has like not unlimited, but like they have like a lot of, like, like there's like a lot of them. You get what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, like I just feel like it only makes sense. Or the orcs as well, like, bro, the orcs and the tyranids, like the one thing that they do have in common that I know is, there's like millions of these guys, billions of these guys, bro. So at the end of the day, like, you get what I'm saying? Like it kind of makes sense,
memories and experiences intact. This allows the hive mind to spawn deadly swarm lords with centuries of experience and knowledge.
Isn't my baby so cute? Their baby. Yo, y'all could not be, bro, walking around, bro, roasting babies.
But anyways, back to the battle. Now that the Tyranids had a big dude to strategize for them, things went south for the Marines who went north. One of the first strategies implemented by the Swarm Lord was sending in Raveners to burrow underground and flank the Marines. The Marines responded to the sudden assault, but they foolishly overextended, leaving their Baneblade unsupported. While the Imperials focused down on the Raveners, Carnifexes tore the unsupported Baneblade to shreds. Seeing that the Tyranids were using actual tactics that weren't just, more bug than bullet, durr. That made Calgar shit in his ultra toilet, and he realized that things were no longer a circus, they were for serious. Two master strategists went head to head. Calgar and the Swarm Lord had a battle of the brains as they both played 40k chess with each other.
Yo, Calgar, he got those guns too. You gotta be careful. He can hit you and stuff like that, but he also has those guns too, and he has a sword, so he got a lot of weapons on him as well. But this guy right here, bro, he got like 4 weapons, bro. I don't know.
And this battle of the brains eventually culminated in a battle of the brawn when Calgar decided to fall back once more. But the Swarmlord was having none of this retreat nonsense,
Ooh.
and it and its tyrant guards rushed in to engage Calgar and his honor guards in an epic battle. Fist met blade, blade met blue, blue met red. It was a mixer, and the only guests were these hands. The wounded Calgar put up a good fight, but was eventually overwhelmed by the vicious Swarmlord.
Oh.
As the Swarmlord prepared its killing blow, Calgar's honor guard shielded the chapter master and sacrificed themselves to evacuate their boss.
Ooh.
Calgar and the Ultramarines boarded Thunderhawk gunships, and they once again fell back.
Ooh. BTA, belt to ass. Ooh. Listen, man. It happens to the best of us, bro. It happens to the best of us, bro. They got mollywopped.
I say they fell up because they went to the orbital battle barge of Octavius. Without Calgar, the Cold Steel Ridge was lost to the Tyranids. That was the last line of defense before the North Pole Fortress and the remaining Marines and Santa Claus prepared their 2 final strongholds at the poles.
Uh-oh.
In orbit, Calgar recovered and assumed control of the remainder of the Imperial fleet. The Tyranid fleet fell back, attempting to get Calgar away from Macragge and lure him into a trap. But Calgar had also planned a trap. Both sides had a trap laid on the nearby ringed planet of Circe.
They put it on the same planet?
Rings, there was something deadly hiding behind the rings. A Tyranid fleet emerged from the planet's rings to destroy Calgar's fleet. However, the blue boss pulled an Uno reverse card and his reinforcing Tempestus fleet arrived just in time to pincer
both
the Tyranid
sides?
forces. Of the fleet was the ancient and formidable Emperor-class battleship Dominus Astra.
Uh-oh.
The Emperor-class battleships are some of the largest Imperial starships ever made and are ancient war machines. These ships are invaluable due to their firepower, size, and the fact that the Imperium doesn't know how to make them anymore, so they are a finite asset. Even with the Tempestus fleet, Calgar's forces were woefully outnumbered. Though the Imperial Navy fought valiantly, it seemed like they would be once again outmatched. That is until the Dominus Astra came in with the steel chair. The massive battleship flew straight into the center of the Tyranid fleet and it overloaded its warp drives. This caused a massive warp vortex that transported nearly the entire Tyranid force into the warp along with the ancient battleship.
Whoa, so he basically just put them in a warp. Yo.
Something to think about is kind of like a mini version of what Abaddon did on Cadia. But since I like the Imperium, I'm just going to frame this as a heroic sacrifice and not a whiny, if I can't have it, nobody can moment. Like, get wrecked, heretic scum, am I right, boys? Even though the fleet was destroyed, the Behemoth forces on Macragge still posed a massive threat. Captain Saul Invictus of the First Company led the defenses in Calgar's absence, and the First Company, along with the Titan legions, defended the northern ice fields. Both the South and North defense forces were faltering and likely would have been overwhelmed if not for Calgar's army returning just in time. In the South, there were
Nice.
few survivors, but with the help of a free blade and the reinforcing ultramarines, they purged the remaining tyranids in the underground tunnels of the fortress. Up in the north, things were a bit more dire, but with the combined might of Thunderhawk ordnance, Devastator squads, and some dreadnoughts,
Okay, dropping a few precision airstrikes on them. Okay, hey, look at Santa Claus. Santa Claus, hey, he's thumping it. Pause.
the ultramarines assaulted the undergrounds just like their brothers did in the South Pole. After much fighting, they got to the final room of the fortress where they found thousands of Tyranids dead at the feet of the final Terminator squad of the First Company. These
Okay.
Terminators brought down a small army before perishing. The entirety of the Ultramarines' First Company had sacrificed themselves defending their home planet. Despite massive losses, the Ultramarines had successfully defended their home and halted Behemoth's warpath. In the
Nice.
following years, the Imperials worked hard to kill all of the remaining Tyranids. They were aided by the Blood Angels and Terminix in their extermination efforts. It took the Marines decades to return to full strength, but they had learned valuable lessons about the galaxy's newest threat. From the ashes of the chapter, Chaplain Cassius assembled an elite unit of Ultramarines dubbed the Tyrannic War Veterans. These Marines experienced the bug baddies firsthand, and they trained in tactics to combat them. They regularly battle hive fleets, and they aid their Imperial brethren across the galaxy. As for the Tyranids, although High Fleet Behemoth was seemingly annihilated, the Swarmlord's body was never found, and the Behemoth forces scattered in order to gather biomass and regrow their numbers. These splinter fleets were encountered on nearby worlds and continued to be significant threats. One notable attack was led by one of the few named Tyranids, Old One-Eye. The aptly named One-Eye Carnifex was sighted assaulting the world of Kalth. Although on
Bro, hold on, give me 1 second. Man, he built like a damn.
significant threats, one notable attack was led by one of the few named Tyranids, Old One-Eye. The aptly
Man, bro, he built like the entire Philadelphia Eagles offensive line. Bro, like what? Old One-Eye.
named One-Eye Carnifex was sighted assaulting the world of Kalth. Although on paper this was an Imperial victory, I wouldn't really say it was a Tyranid loss. They may have lost the Battle of Macragge, but before that happened, they completely killed many Imperial worlds, severely crippled the Ultramarines, and they gained valuable knowledge on.
I mean, all right, listen. The Tyranids, I mean, they definitely did. Yo, Lord Calgary, shout out to you, whatever, bro. But you did get packed up. Let's keep it real. The Tyranids, bro, they did bum rush through everybody. Yep, y'all was forced to, escape and go back. I'm gonna be honest with you. The Tyranids, they got a little W. They got a little like it's still. I think best out of 3. I think obviously the Ultramarines and stuff like that. I think they'll win. But I think out of like the 2 battles that we've seen, whatever, the Tyranids definitely they got like a little W, and Lord Calgary definitely caught up.
Imperium.
I'll
Like
say that.
previously stated, the hive mind is constantly adapting and creating strategies to counter its opponent. So this war strengthened the hive mind more than it damaged it. Well, that's all I've got for today. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this week's episode. The Tyranids are an awesome faction and they pose a major threat to the 40k universe. Also, the Ultramarines, they're usually hated on, but I'm just gonna say it. The Ultramarines are cool, gosh darn it. Roman-themed super soldiers are super
They
cool.
are. They are cool.
Just look at these dudes and tell me they aren't some of the coolest things you've ever done seen. Also, aesthetically, I love how the colors of the Ultramarines look fighting against the colors of Behemoth in art. The
I just like just the Ultramarines like colors just in general, like the whole blue. I don't know. I just like it. I like it a lot.
blue and the red, ooh, it's just so nice. Also, the channel recently hit 40k.
Oh,
I have
shout
now
out.
collected the 40,000 Warhammers, and I can.
Yo, bro. Speaking of like K and stuff like that, we're on our way to hitting 8,000 subscribers, bro. If you're not subscribed to the channel, bro, subscribe to the channel, bro. We're almost there to 8,000 subscribers, man. 8,000 of you guys chose to click that big red button, and I really appreciate it, man. And listen, man, I'm trying to get 8,000 followers on Twitch. So if you guys are actually not, following me on Twitch, man, make sure you guys actually, drop through and give me a follow. That will really. That would touch my heart. Shout out to everybody who's been following and stuff like that. Really appreciate you.
Begin my ascension to a true 40k YouTuber. Thank you everyone for supporting the channel. It has been tremendous.
shout out, man.
And thank you to the Patreons who support the channel.
Shout out to the main man, Crack Duck, man, for the video. Other than that, man, comment down below. What do y'all think about it? And other than that, I'm going to see you guys out there for the next one out. Peace out.